Hello everyone. Today on the show we got a few things to talk about, including some current events, Madison Fishing Expo, and an exclusive interview that you will not want to miss. So stay tuned to this episode of Go Angler's Corner. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frugal Studios for this brand new episode of Go Angler's Corner, brought to you by Olson Home Theater. I'm Russell Olson. Today on the show, I'm going to be reviewing the Madison Fishing Expo, lots of good seminars, just kind of giving an overview of that. I've got an exclusive interview with Mr. John Murray, one of our top bass pros, but I am going to start off today with some current events. Of course, everyone is dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic right now. Obviously, I'm doing my best, stay at home. The order does allow for outdoor activities, so as long as you can do social, continue to do your social distancing. Fishing does allow for that. So if you can get out and fishing, I think that's going to help mentally. And that does lead into a little bit of news. FLW has rescheduled all their tournaments through early May. So what that means, I know for me personally, is the April 25th BFL on lacrosse is getting rescheduled. I don't know when they're going to reschedule it yet. Me and actually everyone who's fishing the BFLs that were scheduled between now and then are still waiting to hear back. I did call FLW. They are going to email everyone who has paid their entry fees on that. So, and FLW, I believe, they've always been real good about communicating things. But what I'd continue, like I said, other than getting out fishing, just stay in your home, continue the social distancing. Hopefully this will end within a month or so and we can all go back to our normal lives, go to our, bass club meetings if you're in a club, and kind of get things, return to normal, and definitely looking forward to that. When it comes to the Madison Fishing Expo, on a little bit of lighter subject, it was a great expo this year. This year, I only go Saturday and Sunday every year. I did go Friday night this year because Mark Zona was there. He gave a great seminar on basically power shotting, which I'm actually going to be going into these seminars in greater detail throughout the next several episodes. But it was really great. And Zona's always a funny guy. If you get a chance to see one of his seminars, definitely get a chance to do that. Check out his fishing show, Zona's Awesome Fishing Show. It's educational. It's great. I think you'll really enjoy it. So that was really kind of it for Friday night. Did check out some of the exhibitors and stuff. I was a little surprised that there weren't more bass boats there. I mean, there were some, don't get me wrong, but there were a lot of pleasure boaters, a lot of fish and ski, but the amount of bass boats I feel like we're down this year. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But there are a lot of exhibitors. There were a lot of exhibitors that were, the same ones that generally come every year. Straight King was back, which I don't think I know if they've been there over the last few years. No, I take that back. Maybe they were there last year. But before that, it had been actually several years, and I remember seeing them out at the Fishing Expo. But I mean, there were some deals, and not it's been a while since I'll be honest with you, it's been a while since I've been really impressed with the deals that they've had. Now kind of getting into Saturday, had actually a couple different seminars by Mr. Quentin Capo. He talked a lot about shallow water fishing, and like I said, I'm going to go actually much more in depth into those seminars in future episodes. And then on Sunday, or actually on Saturday too, John Murray. No, I take that back. He was also on Sunday as well. I was getting my days mixed up there, but I actually have an exclusive interview with him. It was really great, really informative. You'll be seeing that in just a little while here on this episode today. I talked about forage, match the hatch. Like I said, I'll be going more in depth into the actual the information from the seminar in a later episode. Then on Sunday, Ish Monroe. He had 2 seminars that day. Learned a lot. I am going to be getting some of his frogs for lacrosse this year that he won the tournament on. The way he described the frogs, and he actually passed them around. He made a lot of sense in that seminar. So with that being said, I'm actually going to go ahead and present the exclusive interview I did with John Murray. I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, I'm here at the Madison Fishing Expo with one of the top anglers on the Bass Pro Tour, Mr. John Murray. John, thank you for taking the time out with me. I really appreciate it.
Sounds good. Always good to talk fishing.
Yep. So, question for you. Kind of, how did you get your start? Were you ever a co-angler? Did you always have your own boat? How did you progress?
I started co-angler. I fished my first tournament when I was 13, and I knew nothing about bass. I knew nothing. I'd caught a couple bass, but that's it. Mm-hmm. So I went co-angler in a local club. Basically, they were called non-boaters back then. And, went fish with older guys, and they showed me the lakes and how to catch them, and, learned so much that way. And I've always encouraged guys to do that. I used to travel across country to fish co-angler in different places I wanted to learn. It was the way to learn it cheaply and efficiently, because you drew guys. Sometimes you drew guys that didn't know anything, like I did. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you drew guys that knew everything right. So yeah, I learned a lot that way. I'm always encourage a guy to go fish co-angler first. Spend a little less money that way, and before you go buy the boat and try it on the pro side, definitely put your efforts in the co-angler side.
Awesome. That's pretty good advice. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Speaking of the boat, so if you got a co-angler who is, trying to get his own boat, or what I'm kind of curious is, did you buy your own boat? Were you discovered? So how did you make that turn?
I had great parents. It was a long time ago, and they bought me my first bass boat, and because they were all about bass fishing. They didn't bass fish, but they wanted me to bass fish. So I had a step up on a lot of people, and I had a boat before I had a truck. I was 14 years old. My mom and dad drive me to the lake, launch my boat, and they'd leave the camper there. I'd stay in camp, and then they'd drive home in the other car, and then they picked me up the weekend. But that's when I started as a boater. That was it. I got sponsored pretty young. I won the state championship in Arizona when I was 16, so I had sponsors right away and got a boat and upgraded my boats every year. And so, but yeah, you have to have that first start, whether it's, parent, family, you get a job where you can make a bunch of money, and because boats are not as cheap as they were when I started. But yeah, so that's the key, is having a plan to get that boat. And that's a tough one sometimes. Yep.
I hear that. I'm personally still working on that myself.
Yep.
Hopefully in the next few years. So
there you go.
I feel that.
Have the plan.
So do you have any other specific advice? Anything you could say to co-anglers?
Here's a real key. I fished a tournament last week at Chickamauga, and the first day I threw a crankbait. My co-angler tried to throw the crankbait just like me. He never caught a fish. And the second day, I drew a guy that fished tournaments more, and I threw the crankbait, and he started throwing other baits. And I never caught it. He threw an Alabama rig and caught one. And by an hour or two later, we both had Alabama rings and we both were catching them. So do something different than your pro. He's going to take you to where some fish are. Try some other stuff, help him out. Try some different techniques. You're probably not going to catch him the same way he is. So be, again, open mind and try different techniques. Even if, if he catches, if you keep trying some different stuff, you might find the key to that day.
Excellent. That's really good advice. Really appreciate the talk and a lot of good information. Do you have any sponsors or anyone who's helped you that you want to mention?
Well, just Lucas Oil. They brought me up here to do this, and Lucas Marine Oil. Try it if you guys haven't tried it. It's great stuff. I use 6-Gill rods and reels. That's some great company out of Texas, pretty new company. But other than that, you see my sponsors are great. River to Sea and Gene LaRue, Ranger Boats. But appreciate the time, and we got to get out and go fishing. That's the key.
Right. And I again appreciate you taking the time with me. I really appreciate it. And the seminar was just outstanding.
Good deal.
Appreciate it. And have a great day and good luck on the water.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Well, wasn't that a great interview with John Murray? Really informative. I tell you what, anytime you get a chance to go to a show like that, like the Madison Fishing Expo, I was planning on going to Bass Pro Shops as a spring classic, but obviously with the whole COVID-19 and everything, we're lucky to even have some of those places even open right now. But that'll do it for this episode. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and hope you have a great 2020 season.